Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Come on and join the family by hitting that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I'm sorry about the volume last night on last night's live. It was distorted, but it was a great time with Stock Mo Keenan Grace and Stocks with Josh. So let's get into it. I'm going to just keep you guys abreast of what's going on after the Fed speech. The Fed decided to hold the line. There is still a possibility for three interest rate cuts this year. Okay. But that, data dependent. He pretty much didn't change anything, though a lot of people were expecting him to be hawkish, and he wasn't. He was actually dovish. The stock market and crypto liked that and began to run right after. I did some live trading during the FOMC meeting and made about $3,000. I'll share that with you later. One of the things that is going on, the DOJ is suing Apple over monopoly, okay? Over the iPhone monopoly. They have the dog and pony show going on. You know how they do this thing, right? And Josh and I discussed last night how we expect Apple, I believe that Apple and Tesla will get further beat up this year, providing a buying opportunity. I don't think that time is now, right now. Okay, so I told you guys that I am only investing 25% of the money that I'm putting in my portfolios. You let me know what you are doing, okay? For now. I do think that this year will be a great year to buy Apple and Tesla. And those will be the Apple and Tesla that I plan on getting this year. I plan on holding for the next 10 years. Okay. You let me know what you think, but I don't think that time is now. I think that nothing drastic is going to happen before the election. And then when the election happens, all bets are off, right? All right, so let's keep it going. What else has happened? Reddit had its IPO. Now, this says Reddit pops over 38%, but now look at that. You see that? Reddit pops as much as 70%. See here? While this is up, right? And so Reddit, for those of you that don't know, you have Reddit is a popular social media platform. I go into Reddit. I go into some of these subreddits or some of these rooms that are in Reddit. Wall Street Bets to be in particular, to kind of see and kind of keep what's going on. You can find a lot of it's very, it's like you got a lot of crazy people on that site too, but you got a lot of smart people on there, and sometimes you can find gems in there. They run up and then they sell off, and then eventually they come back. So me personally, I don't touch these overhyped IPOs. And this one is not as overhyped as most, okay? This company allegedly is not profitable. And there's a lot of risk, but they have an army behind them that was waiting and willing to buy it. Now, I believe that there will be a cool off at some point and then a run back up. Let's talk about dwac for a minute. Digital World Acquisition Company. Okay, so here we got dwac. dwac stockholders are currently set to hold a meeting on Friday. Okay, so I have a ton of mail that came from Digital World Acquisition. Like they spent so much money for this vote. I believe this vote will get passed. If not Friday, it will eventually. If it does not get passed Friday, which is tomorrow, stock will take a little hit, cool off a little bit, and then it will go back up. Okay, I am out of this play. As those of you that's been following me know, I made a ton of money on it, but SPACs generally don't do well. You just look out 3 months, 6 months, especially a year after the SPAC, then you will see that most of them do not perform well. Let's look at what's going on with Digital World Acquisition. As you can see, the stock and the warrants. The stock is up about 4%, 3.96%. The warrants are up 4.85%. Let me play a video up for you really quick about what you need to know about dwac.
Next week, we're going to have a de-SPAC of a company that is starting to once again get a bit of attention, and that is Digital World Acquisition Corp, DWAC.
DWAC?
Yeah.
Oh, God, you're on that. I'm not home.
I have been on it for some time.
Home.
I've been talking about it. Talked about it last week, I think, briefly as well, in part because of the overall conversation around former President Trump's legal bills and his need to post a bond of somewhat $454 million here in New York, and the access that he potentially has to what would be billions of dollars of shares if current prices hold in DWAC. Why do we mention it now? Because tomorrow they're having their vote. And they're going to vote in favor, obviously, of the deal to merge with Trump Media and Technology Group. And that's the math. I'll come back to it in a minute. You can see Digital World has had a very nice run of late, and let's call it 44 or so. You want to do the math? I can take you through it because Mr. Trump will, TMTG, essentially, Mr. Trump will have 87.5 million shares right away and another 40 million on a so-called earnout. The earnout looks pretty money good right now. It basically says if in any 20-day period following the de-SPAC, which will happen next week, by the way, that's when we're expecting it, any 20-day period, the stock stays above 1750. There are actually various numbers along the way here, but 1250, 15, 1750, he gets another 40 million shares. So you can do the math. That's 127.5 million shares. Multiply that by 45, you get about 5.7 billion, maybe even more. I haven't done the math in this very moment, dollars worth of stock. The overall value of the company, I've got it 169 million total shares out. You got 30 million shares for DWAC. You've got 12 million from the other bucket. That's 24 million, but half of those are warrants roughly. And by the way, I'm not including any number of converts and warrants, which will take the share count up. So let's assume 169 million shares, over a $7.8 billion market value. Company right now, $3 million in revenue from Truth Social. That's the main entity that it will be operating under the TMTG banner.
Leave me a comment if I introduced you to this stock and you made money. Also, leave me a comment if you're still in this play, which I am not. And I'm glad I'm not, because I believe it's a roller coaster. But there's still money to be made, okay? There's just so many other plays that are out there that is easier money for me. Yesterday, I traded what I said is the most dangerous hour and a half to be trading, and that's during the FOMC meeting. I'm going to tell you that every FOMC meeting, I make on average about $5,000, okay? There's been times where I made less, and there's times where I made more. To be honest with you, because of what generally happens, market runs up just the day before. Now, it didn't quite happen this way, but I still made $2,000 where I filmed it, and I made an extra like $800 or $900 because I held a few until the day. And I will tell you that I'm showing you guys how to do that, right? For everyone that has a stock up view, I posted another lesson, okay? I posted another lesson in my momentum trading chapter, okay? The last lesson in the momentum trading chapter, I show you how I did that, okay? I show you, you'll see how I made a couple of $1,000s while the Fed was talking. And to be honest with you, it was quite, because I've done it probably the last 10 Fed meetings, it's easy for me. And I show you in real time. So that's what I was doing. I was trading, but I'm going to show you how to safely do it and make money. And what I did during the FOMC meeting, I do every morning before, I would say the first hour and a half of opening market. And I use the same method. For those of you that want to learn everything you really need to know to make money in crypto, whether it be Dogecoin, the alts, layer ones, or memes, you need to take this chapter of the class. It's all under one roof, okay? Now, I added another lesson to that. I show you how to swing trade crypto. I show you how to set a stop loss on your crypto using the Coinbase app. And I show you how to simply make money. And I show you when to buy and when to sell. You can buy now and pay later. You could use Afterpay, Klarna, or Affirm, not Sezzle or Sizzle or whatever that is, okay? So you could use Afterpay, Klarna, or Affirm if you simply want to buy now and pay later. You can do that at checkout. You can use those platforms, buy now and pay later for the class. That is something that they just added. Now, let's look at the crypto bubbles. As we can just see, it is going good. I got me a little Jasmy, okay? I got me a little Jazz just before I wish I'd had gotten more. It's up 20, it was up 29% today, so it's one of the ones that's doing well. This is for the day. Let's look at the hour. We got a slight pullback, okay? But for the week, since we had that bounce, as you could see, things are not good. Bunk is down 32% for the week. This is one of the things I teach you in the class, how to buy it 32% less, all right? So I want you guys that have the class to make sure you go back and check that out. The NASDAQ and S&P, now they're making new highs. Both hit all-time highs, right, on the 12th. I want you to know that because of interest rates, Bitcoin is doing the same thth. When did Bitcoin hit all-time highs? Let's see. Year to date, right here. Look at that. March 13th, okay? So all-time highs, March 12th. Bitcoin, as you could see, Bitcoin is surging with the Dow and the S&P. And they hit all-time highs, what? On the same days. But guess what else happened? Bitcoin actually bottomed out when the Fed stopped increasing interest rates, okay? So when the Fed stopped increasing interest rates, that was actually the bottom for crypto. Now, the Dow and the S&P hits all-time highs, and so does Bitcoin, okay? And so there is a direct correlation. So it was decentralized. Now Bitcoin operates with the stock market. Look at how much institutional money have actually, through companies like BlackRock with these spot ETFs. Look at how much institutional money has poured into Bitcoin, okay? And you best believe that Bitcoin is like the somebody gonna say it's the gateway drug, right? So Bitcoin leads into what? Altcoins, and altcoins lead into meme coins. And what I mean by that, the purchasing of it. So people will find other coins other than Bitcoin once they get comfortable with Bitcoin, and they're going to start to purchase these. Now, Bitcoin had a nice bounce from the Fed's meeting from yesterday, and so did the alts, and so did the memes. There's a slight cool back today. Now, that hula or hoorah will soon be over, and then we could see what's really going on. So we still could be in a period where things start to cool off. It's not going to be a straight line up. Bitcoin will get into these seasons where it trades sideways. But you can't get discouraged if you purchased at the right price. So we don't chase the top. We wait to the drop. I want to show you how I make money during the FOMC meeting. Okay, so that's going to be the top link. And then Moo will be the second link below under that. All right, we'll see you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn.